Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are doing fine. I am Diksha Gupta and I have done my graduation in botany from Delhi University and I have completed my graduation in 2021. I have done post graduation in botany and I have completed my post graduation last month. I give tuitions to students of class 8th to 10th and let's get into the topic. So today's topic is reproduction. Reproduction is the most interesting and I should say most important topic of biology. It's very interesting to know how we human beings and all other living organisms came to the planet Earth, isn't it? So we human beings and all other living organisms came to the planet Earth by the process of reproduction. So reproduction is a process by which living organism produces a new individual of its own type, whether say its largest organism like a lion or a tiger or the smallest ones like bacteria or microbes and other microorganisms also reproduce to produce the new individuals. Okay, so so now question arises, why do even organisms reproduce? Reproduction is not a life process. What is the meaning of life process? Life process is any process which is essential for an organism to survive. It can be excretion, nutrition or reproduction. So reproduction is not that necessary because it is not a life process. So these individuals even require some energy to reproduce. So why will an individual reproduce? Let's take an example. If in a forest all the elephants even stop reproducing, what eventually will happen? These elephants will become extinct. We will not be able to see any elephants surviving in that forest, isn't it? So the individuals reproduce to maintain their population or species in a specific area. Do organisms create exact copy of themselves? Take a closer look at this picture. I'm sure all of you must be familiar with these faces. So these celebrities look very similar to their parent. Like all living organism look very similar or have some of the similarities to their parents. Let's see how. So these new individuals possess some of the similarities to their parent because of the help of DNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid and it is a thread-like structure which is located inside the nucleus. Okay, so it contains some genetic information related to the characteristics of eye color, eye shape, hair type, hair color, even some are height information. Okay, so these materials are hereditary material. What is the meaning of hereditary material? It is passed on to the next generation. We individuals have DNA and we acquire this DNA from our parent and we will pass on to our next generation which contains some genetic information. Okay, so here you can see an egg-shaped structure. This is called an chromosome. Chromosome is actually a coiled and condensed form of DNA because DNA is very long and cannot be fit in this form in the nucleus. So it is often coiled and condensed in the form of chromosome and are present inside the nucleus in the form of chromosome. So an individual, an human being having a cell possess 46 chromosome inside it. Now let's see how this DNA get transferred to the next generation. So for sexual reproduction to occur, what we need is gametes. Okay, male gamete and female gamete. Now you must be thinking, what are gametes? Gametes are nothing but reproductive cells. Reproductive cells are those cells which have the capability to produce the new organism. So the female have female gamete called egg cell and male have male gamete called sperm cell. So these cells, we all know, the cells possess some a nucleus inside it and nucleus contains some DNA inside. So These gametes also possess nucleus, and these nucleus contains DNA inside them. Okay, so what happens during sexual reproduction is these two gametes fuses to form a zygote, and the zygote acquire DNA from both female as well as from male. Okay, the zygote have DNA from both female as well as male, so it acquires features of both female and male, and this zygote further divide to form an embryo, and the embryo further undergo some divisions to form tissues further divide to form organ, and organ and the formation of organs leads to the formation of eventually a baby. Okay, now you can see the degree of similarity between the two cells, that is the child and the parent always varies, and it depends on the DNA copying process occurring or replication process occurring during gamete formation. Gamete formation is male gamete is sperm cell and female gamete is an egg cell. So during gamete formation, this replication process occurs. Now you must be thinking, what is replication or DNA copying process? See here, the A capital D A the capital A DNA. The capital A DNA is getting copied here. Okay, and the next small a capital DNA getting copied here. So for a child to be an exact copy of their parent, this process must be done. This DNA copying process must be done accurately, which is not possible. You can see a line in your NCERT book, no biochemical reaction is absolutely reliable, which means there is no process which occurs so accurately. There is always a little or more variation during DNA copy. Okay, and this variation is very useful. So these variation can be useful for the survival of species over time. If a particular environment is suited for a species. Let's take an example. If in a pond a population of bacteria is living at temperature 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, and they can only live at this temperature. But because of global warming, the temperature of pond arises to 40 degrees Celsius. What will happen? The bacteria living at temperature 20 to 30 degrees Celsius will not be able to survive, and eventually they will die. Okay, but if there is any bacteria having some genetic variation inside their DNA, having some they can even tolerate to the temperature 40 degrees Celsius. They can even live at temperature 40 degrees Celsius. So these abilities or these variation provides a step for evolution also. This video ends here. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you for watching.